is Algebra 2, Lesson 1-5, Shift Functions! That's right. Today we are playing with Desmos. So, laptops, everyone, open, go to Desmos, and you are going to graph the following function. Y equals, in parentheses, x plus h, n parentheses, squared, and then outside the parentheses, plus v. When you type that into Desmos, it will ask if you want h and v to be added as variables, and you will say yes. We're going to be dragging the sliders. The sliders are those little things that you slide back and forth. And look what happens to the graph. What you're going to be doing in your notes is you're going to answer with short bullet points. When I drag H, I notice blah. When I drag V, I notice blah. You're doing this on your own. I'm going to open up Desmos so you can see what it should look like. Yeah, Shift 6 will go to the power, so I'm doing Y equals. You might be able to borrow someone that's in here. To the power. Oh, you're probably going to have to go get your own then. So you should see this. And it says add slider for K or H and V. And you just hit all, so you have sliders. Go ahead and, let me change this to projector mode. Drag these left, right, see what happens, and write down your observations in your notes. Bullet points, short bullet points. Please do not write incomplete sentences. It wastes space. Go ahead and do that now. All right, and we're back. So, quiet raised hand for XP. What do we notice? Gio, go for it. What are you doing? Are you doing H or V?
H.
All right, what'd you notice?
When you slide H to the right, it goes the opposite way. It goes to the left.
So the slider went right, but the graph went left. Interesting, interesting. All right, thank you. And I'm going to reward you immediately because otherwise I'm going to forget. So that is the wrong category. There we go. Geo, 50. XP. All right, someone else. Yeah, Andrea, go.
For V?
Either one. Yep, V.
For V, I saw that when I go right, it goes up. When
So,
I do the slider right, the thing goes up.
When the slider went right, that meant that the function went up. So the graph went up. Okay. What else do we get? Another quiet raised hand. And if you don't have these in your notes, you can add them. Let's go with Stego.
Okay, so I don't explain this, but if you have a negative h, like a negative number on the h thing,
So negative, yeah, H.
then if you have a positive v, it only stays on the right side of the graph.
Okay, so it's kind of combining both of them. So if you have, I'm going to put it right in the center. So a negative H and a positive V stays, you said on the right?
Yeah, on the right side of the graph.
Okay, so in quadrants 1 and 4 then.
Yeah.
So we'll say quadrants 1 and 4. Nice. And let me give you your XP. All right, any other observations that we have? Quiet raised hand. Other observations for XP. No other observations? Fiona, go for it.
If h equals 0, then if h equals 0 and if v equals 0, then the little bottom part is on 0, 0.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's do a little bit of vocab here. So when I have this parabola, this bottom part, anyone know it? I'll give you XP if you know it. It's okay. It's called the vertex. So can you restate that, Fiona, using this word vertex?
When h equals 0 and when v equals 0, the vertex is on 0, 0.
Which is also called the origin. I cannot spell origin. Nice. What else do we notice? Any other things? A lot of people are still writing, so I'm not going to move on until people stop writing and don't have anything else left to say. Any other things that you noticed? And I don't think I give Fiona her XP, so boink, boink. Nothing else. All right. Yeah, those are some really good observations, everyone. And yeah, the main thing that I wanted us to take away from where are we? Right here. From this is that when I drag h to the right, it moves to the left, like opposite. Drag h to the left, it goes to the right. For some reason, it's the opposite in here. But this outside, remember v is on the outside. Whenever I'm on the outside, it goes up and down. Whenever I'm on the inside of these parentheses, I go left and right. V moves in the direction that I think it would. If I go positive, the y coordinate is positive. When I go negative, the x or the y coordinate goes negative. Yeah, very nice. Okay, so coming back to our notes. Horizontal shift. I mean, today is all about shifting functions. I said it in my awesome intro. So horizontal shift happens when a number, and these are notes, so I'm not going to write out the full word number. I'm just going to do hashtag or octothorpe if you want to be technical. When a number is added or subtracted and here's the key part. Inside the parentheses. Inside the parentheses. And look at that. So horizontal shift. This H, I called it H for a reason. I didn't choose A or B. H stands for horizontal shift. It is inside the parentheses. When you're inside, you're going to move to the left and the right. So, and this is our key here. We're going to have a more condensed rule, but I just want to make sure that we got this much. If h is positive, so for example, if I had x plus 1, that's a positive. If I had x minus 1, that would be negative. So if h is positive, then the function is shifted which direction? Left, right, up, down? Anyone want to take a guess? Quiet raised hand. Stego?
Left.
Left. What do we think? Thumbs up, thumbs down. When it's positive, does it go left? You're either doing thumbs up or thumbs down, thumbs in the middle if you're not quite sure. Yeah, that's correct. So when it's positive, it goes left. It's like the opposite. It's weird, right? Coming back here. Oh, wrong one again. Stego. There you are. Can someone shut the door for me, please? Thank you. When h is negative. When h is negative, it's going to go the other direction, right? When h is negative, it goes right. So negative pairs with right, which is weird because it's kind of counterintuitive. So if you want to make a note, you can put it on the outside over here. It's like the opposite for this one.
The opposite of what you think.
Exactly, yeah. It's the opposite of what you think. All right, vertical shift. Oh, wow, Mr. Sindel called it a V. How convenient. It's vertical shift. This happens when, and it's going to be almost the same setup, a number's added or subtracted, but the key word here, underlined, is going to be different. So this happens when a number is added or subtracted instead of inside, it is now outside. Outside, parentheses. I would like to pause here because there are certain types of functions that don't have parentheses but still follow this rule. Here's one of them. Just go ahead and look at what happens, and then we're going to add stuff to our notes. What if I change this, instead of a square function, what if I change this to an absolute value function? Absolute value makes that little V symbol. So if I move this over this direction, it still works the same way. Oh, I have double absolute value. There we go. Why does it do that? Okay. Give me a second. Okay. It still works the same way, where H will move it left and right, and V will move it up and down. It's the same thing, but my parentheses are no longer parentheses. It's an absolute value symbol. So it works for absolute value symbols and for parentheses. Hopefully everyone got that. And we're going to make a little note here. For parentheses, we'll say, or the absolute value symbol, or the absolute value symbol. It can be both. Parentheses when you have something squared or cubed, or it can be with absolute value symbol. All right, and we're going to continue on like we've been doing. So if v is positive, then the function is shifted. Quiet raise hand, up, down, left, or right. James? Up. What do you guys think? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Does it get shifted up? And just like your thumbs, it is up. So I need to start recording people who are giving me answers. So James, you get the 50, and I think y'all did thumbs twice, so I'm just going to go 20 and call it thumbs.
We don't have thumbs.
It's just a note to why you got the XP. Okay, so if v is negative, it's going to go the opposite direction. Negative. When it's negative, it goes down. All of this stuff is like more guided notes for your observations. All right. Make sure you have everything here. We're flipping over to the back. I want to condense this all into one simple, easy to remember, back at the note card type of rule. Say you have this function. I don't know what function I'm doing, so I just kept it a general form g of something. It could be an absolute value function. It could be something squared. It could be something cubed. I don't know what the function is. I'm keeping it as general as possible. What I want you to do is write over this. H is going to affect the left and right movements.
Wait, so what does G, like what's G?
It's some function. So this part right here, give me a sec. And we just lost Fiona. Okay, so this G here, the question is why did we put that G here? That could represent something squared. It could represent something, don't write this down. It could represent something cubed. It could represent the absolute value of something. We don't know what that function is, but it represents all functions. It's a general way of saying that. Yeah, Gio.
I just plug G into the equation and I just say what it does.
Okay, what does it do?
Just like makes it flip over. Like it stretches it.
Yeah, it's vertical stretch. Yeah, we haven't hit that yet, and I think that's coming up here really soon. But yeah, that's awesome that you're already trying that out. So coming back here, this is what I do want you to write in the notes. H, just do an arrow that goes left and right. H affects left and right, and we'll keep a note underneath that says opposite, OPP. Hopefully you know that OPP stands for opposite. If you see H that's positive, it's going to go in the negative direction. If you see an H that's negative, like x minus 3, it's going to go into the right direction. And then for V, you're going to do an up and down because V affects whether or not it goes up or down. And V is normal. If V is positive, it's going to go positive in the y direction. If V is negative, it's going to go negative in the y direction. This is the opposite. That one's normal. Questions about the condensed rule? All right, put a star by this. This needs to be in your summary. It has to be. I want you to rewrite it because I want you to remember it. Rewrite this for your summary. At least this, if not other stuff too.
Can I get my laptop charger? I'm at 8%.
Do you want to sit at another, oh, I already asked that. Can you wait until the end of the notes because we're almost done. We have example, that should have said example 2. We have 2 examples and then we're done. All right, so the graph of this g of x blue absolute value function is a transformation of this red or green, I'm colorblind, I don't know, one of this color's f of x function. So that means, reading this, g of x is a transformation of f of x. That means I started with f of x. I'll go ahead and write this down. This was the start. This was the end. I started with f of x, but it was transformed and it turned into g of x. What happened? How did I get to g of x? What was the transformation? Well, look at the vertex. Again, I'm using that word that we have up here for the parabola. The parabola vertex is the same word for the absolute value vertex. It's this point right here. It's this point. Is this green or red, by the way?
That's green.
It's green, okay. This vertex right here. How did that vertex shift? If I started with f of x and I went to g of x, how many right, how many down did I go? I need a quiet raised hand to tell me both of those. Eva.
Down 4.
So I went down 4. So I'm going to say minus 4. Okay. And then
Over 2.
over. Yeah. So right 2. You have to be very specific. Thank you for saying right 2. Oh, a little bit of lag there. It went right 2. Okay. So now we go back to this. We know that we need to go right 2 and down 4. So how are we going to do that? and here's the answer. But just make sure you understand we have to go down 4 and right 2 in order to get to our g of x function. So to get g of x, you need to start with f of x. F of x. I'm not going to close the parenthesis because we have room inside the parenthesis for other things. F of x, well, I know that going left and right is going to go in here. So left and right, we went right 2. So 2 is going to go there. Now I have to figure out if it's a plus 2 or a minus 2. I can. All right, well, Gio kind of ruined the surprise. It is minus 2. But for XP, can someone raise a quiet hand? Why is it minus 2 and not plus 2, Andrea? It's opposite. If I want to go positive 2, I need a negative 2. It's the opposite there. It's okay, Gio. You were just so excited about math, you just had to explain your analysis, and that's awesome. All right. Then finally, we need to say somehow go down 4. Tell me what to write here with a quiet raised hand. Steph.
-4.
Minus 4. There it is.
We're so smart.
You guys are really smart. But even better than that, I think you guys work hard. That's all there is to it. And if you want this for your notes later, if you think you're going to forget, this guy right here, it told you write 2. I know you know that now, but you might not know that when you look back at your notes. This guy right here, this minus 4 says down. Boy, down. Down 4.
Wait, so is that your answer?
That's my answer. That's it. That's exactly what I type into Khan Academy, and I'll get the right answer. That's it. Yeah, very nice. Let's try another one. This should say example 2. Please go ahead and scratch out that one. That's an error, but I found it before you did. I should have let you guys catch it. Sorry. All right. Let's go ahead and mark the vertex of each of these functions. So I have a vertex for g of x. I have a vertex for, is this green again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. For f of x, I can tell that this one is green because I know that the third one down is green. All right. How did the vertex change? Again, you always start with f of x in this problem set, and you go to g of x. So what I want you to do now is, without my help, doing this individually, try to do the formula, and once you get it, check with someone around you. All right, we are back. I need a quiet raised hand to tell me the answer. I'm going to give it to whoever needs the XP the most. So Chris is not here. Next up is Stego. No hand. And it goes to Andrea. Sorry.
Okay. So it's F in parentheses x minus 4 close parentheses plus 3.
Like that? All right, thumbs up, thumbs down. Agree or disagree? Is Steph voting?
Sorry.
Yes, she is. Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Yes, Drea. There you go.
Let's go here to
You go, Mama.
Andrea.
You go.
Oh, that was the wrong one. You got a little bit of XP because I misclicked. And then I'm still going to give people XP even though they left because Fiona and Chris are gone. Thumbs. Cool. That's all I have for the notes. So go ahead and write your summaries now. You know that one of those things definitely needs to be in your summary, if not more things. So once you finish your summary, we have the problem set on Khan Academy. And if you are Fiona or Chris, thank you for watching. Say goodbye to them, everyone.
Bye.